Hello, everyone. I hope that you're doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha, and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm really grateful that you're listening, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate all the support. And in this one, I want to speak a little bit about empathy and apathy. It's kind of funny how they kind of sound alike. And those are two things that I feel like INFJs deal with a lot of. Because we have so much empathy, we also kind of end up with a lot of apathy. Now, I've been kind of looking at it for myself. It's because I've been noticing that, certain days when I'm feeling a lot of empathy in my soul or in my heart, it depends obviously a lot on my cycle, my red days, and also just in general how I'm feeling. If I have a lot of energy, I feel a lot more empathy. If I don't have a lot of energy, if I'm tired, then it cuts off. So there's a lot of different factors affecting your empathy, obviously. But in general, INFJs have a higher level of empathy than other people. It's just the way we're built. And so we're going into a situation, and I've been noticing this for myself. I'll go walk around, even if I'm just going to the grocery store, I'll see someone. Usually it's an older person who's dealing with a little bit of mobility issue, or who seems lonely, or just like I look at them and suddenly I'll feel this like overwhelming sense of empathy and sympathy and compassion and actually a lot of sadness. And the sadness comes up because I'm thinking to myself, it's so sad that there are so many people on the planet who don't have people who love them, or who don't have all the different things that they need in order to be happy. A lot of times I'll look at my own parents and I feel that empathy and that sadness, because I'll look at them and say, oh man, I feel bad for them. They have to deal with me all the time. No, I'm just kidding. Well, partly that, but also, just in general, looking at people, there's a lot of potential that people are missing, or also just in general, they're not loved enough, or they are dealing with abusive parents. I'll see a lot of times I'll be walking around and I'll look at this parent and I'm like, oh my gosh, how did you even end up becoming a parent? You're not good at it. You're a terrible parent. In any case, not that I'm a great judge of that, but so I'll go into these situations and I'll feel this level of empathy. And the problem with INFJs is that we kind of put ourselves very easily in other people's shoes. I feel like a lot of other people have a hard time with this. They don't do that automatically. For us, it's automatic. Like, as soon as we see someone, we'll instantaneously put ourselves in their shoes. We're like, oh, I wonder what it feels like to be them. And, I hope they're happy. I hope they're healthy. I hope they're this, that, right? A lot of times it's not the case. They're not happy. They're not healthy. They're not anything. And so, of course, we're putting ourselves in their shoes, and then we start feeling their sadness. We start feeling their whatever emotion, negative emotion they're feeling, resentment, bitterness, anxiety, blah, 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 right? And I've done videos on this in the past where I've told you to be really careful of identifying if these emotions are your emotions or someone else's emotions. Because a lot of times I'll be going into a situation and think to myself, oh my God, I feel so anxious all of a sudden. It's not my anxiety I'm feeling. I'm feeling the anxiety that's present in the atmosphere of the place that I'm in. For example, someone was there who was really anxious previously, or there is someone there right now who's feeling really anxious, and I'm just picking up on that anxiety and feeling it myself. So it's not my anxiety to feel. It's not anything to do with me. But because we have a hard time cutting ourselves off from that empathy, from that motion of, yes, I am you, you are me, and we kind of take that on, right, very easily. The reason I wanted to kind of share this is because I've noticed for myself is that I get into a state of apathy as soon as I get into a state of immense empathy. I start feeling like I'm putting myself into the person's shoes, and I think to myself, there is nothing I can do for this person. There's nothing I can do for any person on this planet, really, if you think about it. There's nothing you can do for them except either be there for them for a little bit. But in general, there are a lot of strangers that I see that I feel empathy for, and I can't do anything about them. And in general, also for my parents as well. Like, it's very hard to help someone else unless they really want to be helped. And in a lot of cases, you can't do anything really. It's just really hard, right? It's very hard to help someone else because you don't actually know what kind of help they need, or if they're even open to it, or if they even want to change, or if there's any necessity for help. Maybe this is fine for them in this moment in time. There's so many factors to consider. So in a lot of cases, you're not going to be able to help this person directly. And for us INFJs, it kind of leads to an instant state of apathy, because we're like, well, I can't do anything anyways. And, what's the point? And what's the point of me? What's the point of this world? What's the point of anything? I should just sit in my corner and cry. or I should just sit in my corner and read manga, which is what I do. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's good to be empathic. I love the fact that I have empathy. I love the fact that I can put myself in other people's shoes. But I do not like the fact that I get apathetic, right? And I notice myself getting apathetic, and I have to really cut myself off. Be like, no, that's not the way you want to go, right? What I've started doing, which has been helping me a lot, and I was hoping to share this with you so it helps you as well, because there's something that we need to do. Like, as INFJs, we can't just be like, whatever, I can't do anything, so let me just kind of go and live my own life. It works for a little bit, but it doesn't work forever. And there's something that we need to do in order to feel useful on this planet. But there's not a lot you can do. Even people with billions of dollars, there's not a lot they can do. Like even Bill Gates, which has billions of dollars to spend, he still can't completely change the world. Although there's lots of differing opinions on why that happens and like conspiracy theories. So I'm not going to get into that. I'm just saying in general, there's very little that you can do for someone else. But there are some things you can do. And what I've been doing, and this might seem a little bit foo-foo to you or a little bit too spiritual. And if it is too spiritual, obviously cut it off and don't think about it. But I'm explaining this to you or giving this example so you can kind of create your own way of helping in your own way that works for you, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be religious or spiritual. So what I've started doing for myself is whenever I see a person who I feel needs something, whatever it might be love, it might be joy, it might be happiness, whatever, I will send them blessings. Now, I'm not a religious person, but I do believe that the universe has made INFJs a conduit of some sort. We have all this empathy, all of this love, all this compassion, all this joy, all this intensity inside of us, and I feel like I'm a conduit. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that everyone is going to feel this way, right? It's not the case. But I feel this way. I am a conduit for the universe. I am the one who kind of brings in all of this positive energy and pushes it out in the world. So this is what my role is, partly. And I've been told this many times as well. I'll go into a room and people are like, all right, cool, the room's kind of lit up. Or I'll, these videos as well, a lot of people will tell me that they watch it because it makes them feel alive. It makes them feel happy. It makes them feel like hopeful, right? And perhaps this is my role partly, right? And so I feel like the conduit thing is what I kind of use. So whenever I see this person who needs help in some way, shape, or form, I will send them blessings through the universe. So be like, like whatever I feel like they need, I will send them that energy. Now, energetically, you might be like, energetically, la. But for me, I feel like energy a lot of times is more important than any money or physical help that you could give a person, right? And so for me, this is what I'm doing. Every single time I'm near an individual who I feel like needs that kind of help, I'll be like, I'm sending you whatever you need in order to feel whole, complete, happy. This is an energetic way that I'm doing it. It's kind of like a blessing, but not really. I'm not saying that, oh God, have mercy upon him or something like that. You can obviously use those words if that appeals to you, or the universe have mercy upon the soul, or whatever you want to use the words don't matter that much. It's like in this regard, because it's mostly energy you're sending out. But if words do matter a lot to you, pick the right words. It's kind of like a mantra, if you want to say it that way. I shouldn't say words don't matter. Words do matter, but in this case I'm using energy, so they don't matter as much. But whatever word matters to you, whatever word appeals to you, whatever speaks to your heart and soul, these are the words that I wish for you to use. Create a mantra of sort, and whenever you see a person that needs it, send it out, send it out, send it out, send it constantly, all throughout the day. Whenever I see someone new or someone that I'm just been passing by someone on the street while I'm on my motorbike or in my car or walking, I'll just send this out. Like, I don't know what this person needs. I have no idea. I'm not God. God knows, or the universe knows, right? So I'll be like, whatever this person needs, I am sending you that energy. I'm sending it out, sending it out, sending it out, sending it out. It's like bubbles or energetic bubbles going out in the world, or whatever, however you want to perceive it. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but I have noticed that, it does help, right? It might not in the moment help that person, but it does in the future, and then in the longer sense of the world. And in general as well, it's sending out positive energy to all these people bit by bit. It's going to amplify, and it's going to create a ripple effect, and it's going to expand into the world, and it's going to create a better space for all of us to live in. And that's the entire message here, is that can only do whatever you can, that little bit. But that little bit is also very helpful. It's very useful. It's necessary. It's important. And so this is what I do. I send out these little prickles or bubbles or things of glimmers of energy out into the world every single time I pass by someone. And that's my thing. That's my contribution to this world where there's a lot of misery and there's a lot of sadness. But this is what I'm trying to do in order to help, right? And so it's not a lot, but it is my thing. And so I wanted to kind of share that, even if it's not a lot, just doing that makes me feel a lot better about the fact that there's not a lot I can do, but I can do this much, right? So I hope that you'll find something like that for yourself, or maybe you're already doing something like that, and I'd love to hear from you about that. Please share in the comments below. Again, thank you so much for listening to my crazy diatribes, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.